I just sold all of my crypto. I can't take this anymore. I'm getting liquidated for $3,000, $4,000 on a daily basis. Everything just goes down. We're probably due a huge dump and nothing is going to happen with cryptocurrencies from here. The tension is at its lowest, nothing is happening. This is probably the time where you should leave. You should go spend some time with your family, do nothing, just chill, because nothing will be happening during this time frame, right? Today I will show why I think this is the bottom currently, why you should be buying altcoins like crazy, why when you will be checking out these prices in 3 to 4 weeks, you will think how stupid I was for not buying in. I will tell you what I think will be happening with the market. We'll also discuss the altcoin that is outperforming everything currently, which is Zen, and what are the opportunities for it. We'll also go through the current hyperliquid situation. Very recent manipulation is happening there, and we'll finalize with some altcoin gems out there. If you appreciate me pumping the content when I'm sick and I'm traveling, press the like button. Without further ado, let's start. First things first, let's talk about Zen. Zen is EVM compatible zero knowledge chain out there that is outperforming each and every altcoin right now like crazy. Through this current dip, we have to understand why, we have to understand what is the upside and what it is in the first place, why it actually is outperforming. Latest, Grayscale just announced the launch of Horizon Trust. This will grant qualified investors Zen exposure in the form of securities. The main reason for this essentially is that Grayscale added Zen into the trust, and Grayscale is kind of your bridge, your entry point for institutional capital to enter into certain crypto coins. I will share some stats a bit later, but I would say from my point of view, this is the main reason for the outperformance lately, because institutions, they just don't care. They always have money, they're just buying each and every dip. On Vela, we can also see that it outperforming like crazy thus far, and nothing is coming close at this stage. Grayscale Horizon Trust offers investors exposure to Zen without the hassle of directly buying, storing, or safekeeping it. So they're essentially doing the custody on their end. It's very convenient for institutional investors out there. Open for private placement for eligible accredited investors. Learn more, see important disclosure, or reach out to us. Yeah, this is just a piece of news. Just grabbed a bag of Zen on Binance. It's very interesting that we have a list of influencers starting to push this thing currently at this stage. Why? Grayscale just announced the Zen Trust, and institutional money can now get exposure to Zen in securities. Since November, Zen has shown signs of smart money accumulation, rising from $7 to $30. Just yesterday, it's up over 70% with the Grayscale news. Like, I know I'm following the account of this guy, I'm following this X. He does not post like this. Like, it's not him posting. It's just some type of text that was shared that he pretty much just copied and posted for some type of allocation or some other things. My target is $50 by the end of the year and could easily break all-time high of 150 in early 2025. Yeah, so you're getting like 60 to 70% upside, right? If you're buying currently, crazy. It's basically been immune to the market dump. Gonna write this one. Yeah, this guy does not write posts like this. Random meme coins worth billions, but a Grayscale Trust coin is only worth 500 million with a fully unlocked FDV. Also a piece of shilling out there. This is huge. I'm holding Zen tight for 10x in early 2025. With Grayscale's recent announcement, these are just some Indian freelancers who created this post. They just sent it to them and they just posted it. Like, these guys, they do not talk like this. Zen is making waves again, and for good reason. Grayscale just announced the Horizon Trust, blah, 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 blah. So the main thing that you should understand about this thing. Here is the list of coins in Grayscale Trust. If you would check on them, the smallest market cap that you have here is Mana, which is 1.2 billion. Probably no one is that interested into buying into this one. And then Lido, right? Lido is at 2.1 billion at this stage, right? Zen, that was just added, is at $500 million market cap. So this is the speculation that investors would just go into it, because I doubt they understand anything about each and every of this coin, right? They just buy it because it's, imagine this like an exchange listing, but exchange for institutionals out there. And that's why this thing is essentially going up in price. I would say probably at this stage you are invited to be the exit liquidity, or you're invited to see very limited upside out there. It's interesting that like they always tell you to long these trends, but when the token is strong through a correction, it means that people are focusing attention on it, right? And if the correction is not that severe, you will be underperforming. You won't be making like craziest largest amount of money, because it just does not make sense. If something is heavily talked about, it has attention, the upside is very limited. Next piece of news, we have to talk about our meme coins. They're not doing very well. And if you were watching this channel, I started to talk about the fact that meme coins are dead and Solana is not going to do very well around 24th of November, pretty much months ago. Right now, crypto Twitter is finally coming to this narrative. They are finally catching up. And usually crypto Twitter is late and it's often wrong as well. We have to understand clearly currently at this stage when there will be the upside for meme coins moving further. Is this a time to buy in Solana meme coins at this stage? Maybe you should still wait, because a lot of people were talking about Hyperliquid flipping Sol, about Sui. Hyperliquid seen its own problems recently, which we also will definitely talk about. Right now, I invite you to focus on the potential narrative of why meme coins can be coming back. And this is the airdrop of Pump.Fun. I just spoke to Alan, the CEO of Pump.Fun, on the phone. He said Pump.Fun airdrop coming on Christmas Day. Get ready, trench warriors. And Alan himself is replying he never lies. It's hard to say whether or not it's sarcasm at this stage or something else, but this is just the piece of information that we have. And now we have to assess what would the Pump.Fun airdrop actually be. Will it be larger than Hyperliquid? Will it be larger than Magic Eden? Will it be larger than Jupiter? If you remember a year ago, a bunch of airdrops on Solana network were actually a reason for meme season on Solana to kick off. So it's quite important to understand what type of setup we are working with here. Info, co-founder of Pump.Fun, said, "We are definitely planning on launching a token at some point in the future. I'm not going to say when, that's all to come." This was revealed during an X Space event marking the most successful week yet, where they introduced their new trading terminal, Pump Advanced. This platform is designed to compete directly with Photon and BullX and aims to bring cutting-edge features to traders. Huge market currently. This was shared 2 days ago on December 21st, and the speculation that's happening is that airdrop might be happening on 25th of December, which is Christmas Day. Kinda not believe this fully, because I would say like it's too early at this stage, but we have to assess what can be the size of this airdrop. Will it actually be the largest airdrop in history? Here's a chart showing Pump.Fun revenue. I would say that Pump.Fun is essentially one of the most profitable businesses probably in the world for this year at this stage, especially amongst the ones that were created this year. It's just crazy. Some comparison we might make is that Magic Eden token is at 2.9 billion FTV at this stage, 400 million market cap, right? And Pump.Fun token should definitely be larger, right? Because Pump.Fun definitely farmed way more fees than Magic Eden farmed through the whole year, right? So the size of the airdrop can definitely be influential on the meme coin space and Solana meme coin trenches in the first place. And it's kind of very, very easy for these guys in the first place, because they are pretty much giving money away to gamblers, right? And most of this money, they will be spent and they will be lost on the platform back again, right? Because success rate on Pump.Fun is very, very low at this stage. Blood on their hands, help find those who took lives. Richard James, this is the founder of Pulse Chain of Hex. Very, very interesting. He essentially got added into most wanted lists in Europe, right? Apparently for the tax evasion and some type of charge of fighting with a 16-year-old or something, right? We're seeing the same publication on Interpol, and it's very, very interesting that other people who are present on this list, they are crazy, like killers, they human traffickers, and things like that. And the founder of Pulse Chain is essentially at the same level following this list at this stage. I think the SEC has evidence that SAC funds were used to purchase the diamond, for example, even though attempts were made to keep the origin of the funds obfuscated. My assumption is that the Finnish investigators are privy to the same kind of material. This is essentially speculation about the fact that even if Richard Hart was able to buy like some type of diamonds or things like that, was demanded he essentially fundraised, he probably was tracked just through this simple action, right? And rumor is essentially he's hiding somewhere in Russia. This guy essentially just sharing all the information on each and every charges, and he's saying that like they're not that real, they're not that complex, they're not that hard at this stage, right? Aggressive tax fraud, we can see this. Assault as well, Matrix attack in Richard. On the old news part, yeah, it's just crazy from this point of view. I do think that maybe the US government is trying to get away as much of shady people from crypto as they can at this stage, and that's why we're essentially seeing things like this happen. Richard Hart himself is saying, sometimes maximum FUD equals to maximum opportunity. This is definitely something I love to follow myself as well, 100%. The market is emotional. Charts, like each and every chart in a way, that just shows human emotion, right? How people are thinking, what are they doing, and things like that. And that's why we have this pattern of parabola playing out in crypto, like oftentimes. Why? Because the space is very, very emotional. There is a lot of investors. There are a lot of investors that are not that educated as investors in the first place. Like, it's a very, very emotional space in the first place. And that's why we have this pattern playing out so often. Bitcoin dropped 40% from $5,000 to $3,000 in 2 weeks for a China ban. I did an 8-hour long live stream, and that was it. It was the bottom. The price was $20,000 3 months later. Don't you wish you bought BTC at 3K? So it's a default type of example, default type of tool. You get like a proper coin, you essentially compare it with your coin, right? And you kind of appreciate people like this. Classic tactic out there. Hex Philosophy Hour. Really make think. Would you rather have your founder on the most wanted list or no list at all? This is very, very funny thing. Definitely shows that the community is culty, community is strong, and that's why probably the project will be doing all right? Because it's just additional piece of news. It's definitely like a cult out there. Very, very interesting one. And Hex token was actually doing quite well lately. By the way, guys, one thing I forgot to mention. Bluffin is giving $30,000 in bonuses away to subscribers and followers of this channel. What you have to do to claim, you have to register following this link. It's under each and every YouTube video in the description section. You just click on this link, you sign up. It's non-KYC exchange, so you can sign up from the US as well. All you have to do to claim is deposit money into your futures account. You don't have to open any longs, any shorts. You don't have to trade. Just transfer money to the futures account. Here are the conditions. So if you deposit more than $100, you receive $15. More than $500, $75. More than $1,000, $150 bonus. More than $2,000, $300 bonus. It's only for the first 100 users out there, and it ends on December 16. It's only for the first 100 users out there, and it ends on December 26 as well. So hurry up, guys, if you want to claim the bonus. Just something that Exchange is doing for the followers of this channel. So coming back to our situation in the marketplace, several scenarios that people are essentially outlining out there. One party just saying that we're going to $85,000 and maybe lower, right? And right after we should be reversing from there, right? Second party of people out there, they're saying that probably we are due a last drop to 92K, which probably will be a very, very quick week out there, because essentially people would be buying out all the assets out there, and they will the BTC will essentially continue from there as well. And third party just says that, yeah, we probably from the bottom we will be bouncing from here, and there is essentially a high chance to bounce from here. These are three scenarios that are present on the marketplace at this stage, obviously, right? The one I'm leaning towards is always the most bullish one, that we should continue to pump from here. To be honest, I don't care about the price of BTC much at this stage. I care the price of altcoins, right? And with them, a very interesting thing I'm seeing is that they are already almost quite decimated at this stage, right? We see that Ethereum is down 25% from the highs. Well, it's not that large if you consider, but a bunch of lower caps, they're down 50, 60, 70% out there. Will we be seeing the last bit of pain that will drop us to like 70, 80% from local all-time highs? I consider that this might be happening. I'm hedging for this. I'm essentially adding quite a bit of margin in the current loans that I have to make sure that I will be able to sustain this move if this would be happening. But I do like the sentiment, because currently people, they already become quite bearish. They are speaking about the end of the cycle. They're speaking about the fact that you should have essentially sell your coins, right? And nothing is happening moving further. I don't believe that obviously the cycle is over with Ethereum not even reaching new all-time highs. It would be just crazy, right? And we also have to check out BTC dominance. I would say this is one of the main charts out there. BTC dominance wise, like, it seemed like we should not be printing another high from there, right? We should be kind of like reversing from these levels and going lower, right? And if you would essentially be buying just based on the local tops of BTC dominance chart, most likely, probably, currently is actually the best time in very, very long time to be allocating yourself into altcoins, because we are at the local tops exactly after the bounce, right? After the bounce from this drop, and we've seen what happened to alts at this drop as well. They went up like crazy, right? 100%. And Total 3 is also kind of trying to, it got rejected from the previous all-time high, right? And at the same levels, it kind of got a strong reaction from this demand area at this stage, which probably states that we should not be going back lower into this area at this stage, right? So we tested all-time high, we got rejected heavily. and we already bounced from the bottom, right, which is very, very interesting. Price action I expect is probably like some days of sideways and the breakout to the upside at this stage. Obviously, the worst case scenario is that we will take liquidity from this level, right, just slightly drop below the lowest local low. Like this way, we will liquidate most of the late longers out there, people with better entry points. And it's quite interesting that I was essentially doing the overview on my X page, right, with only like 100 people answering the poll, but it was quite interesting. 50% said that they are sitting in low leverage longs currently that are underwater. Very interesting situation if you would think about that, because if this is the case, then most likely market makers would want to essentially liquidate more people out there. Well, at the same time, they will just give way better prices. For the market participants out there. And something I want to talk about is my favorite shitcoin on this market, which is Mavia. And something I wanted to end up with is my favorite shitcoin on this market, which is Mavia. We touched this bottom 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. It's just crazy. Like it's crazy. Like the price action on this thing is just crazy. The reason I'm showing this is because my core point for any type of game to be able to repeat the success of Axie Infinity is renting system inside the game, which means that essentially how the play turn works, right? You have to buy certain assets to be able to play with them in the game, and they're paid assets in the first place. Once you're playing with them, you're essentially able to acquire in-game currency, right? Only this way, right? And the way it was happening during the Axie Infinity times in the last cycle, people were renting their Axies, right, to other people out there, and other people were playing, making money, and pretty much paying the rent. I would say this was the core success point for people out there, because no one has the time to play all the time, and not a lot of people have money in order to be able to buy this type of assets in the first place. This was core thing for the success of this thing, and this is something that we are essentially seeing here. Today we're sharing details about land partnerships and renting. Renting for me is the main thing. Like when I'm seeing renting available on any Web3 gaming project, this is it. This is everything I want to see, because it's all about essentially renting market in the first place. So overall, to sum up the situation, I do think we are very, very close to the bottom. I do think that the worst thing that might be happening is the last drop down. I don't think it will be severe, right? And I think if you are entering currently, even if you're entering longs, you can be entering with low leverage from current levels and just be building the position over time, right? Like it goes slower, you add a bit more, it goes higher, you take out margin and you essentially increase the position with the higher leverage out there. Spot definitely buys currently, like we should be buying if you're just buying on spot at this stage. And obviously, be careful with the alts that everyone's talking about that are outperforming, things like that. A lot of people were talking about Hyperliquid. It's down. It's down like 30%. There's a very, very interesting speculation that the reason Hyperliquid is down is because VCs essentially, they created this FUD attack, which is coordinated in the first place, because they were not able to join the project. There were no VCs in the project, and that's why they're trying to drop the price down so they can enter finally at this stage. So this is a very, very interesting speculation that is happening currently. Memecoins wise, it's a bit harder, very, very hard to assess the direction. A lot of people are bullish on AI agents. I'm not. I think that very, very soon, most people in the marketplace will understand that most of them are vaporware. They're just doing nothing, and devs are making them in 10 minutes and pumping it to the craziest market caps. So I do believe we might essentially have the return of Memecoin meta in terms of cute animals or cults, right? And a lot of the coins like that, they are at quite low market caps at this stage. So as the first DCA point, might be a very, very nice point as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. Again, if you appreciate me doing this content while I'm sick and traveling, press the like button, and I will be seeing you tomorrow. Stay healthy and rich. Bye-bye.